Chinese food is. I like Chinese food. I like it in the restaurant. Like style. The one where you have to sit down. You get like some wonton soup, and you get like the plates come in. That's good stuff too. But I could also do like the pick your poison Chinese food. That's that's cool too for me. But the one thing I
What's
can't
pick your
do.
poison? Is that buffet?
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, the combos when you're like, give me combo A. I call those pick your poison Chinese food.
Alrighty.
But I mean, but that's just my saying. It doesn't mean that they're all like terrible. I just think that the more like name brand ones, Panda Express, I never feel satisfied when I leave a Panda Express. Like I could have like the largest bowl in Panda Express, doubled up, and like a whole like side plate of food, and I still won't feel satisfied leaving a Panda Express. Maybe they just make their food out of like nothing but vegetables or something, but I'm never satisfied. It's same thing with. I don't even know if these restaurants are still open. Yoshinoya. Has anybody gone to a Yoshinoya lately? Do they still exist?
I haven't seen one.
Well, I haven't seen one in a long time. Hey, what's up, Chad? How's it going? We got news now. Pokey, what's up, buddy? P Barnes, Danny, Schmitty. Well,
But
I
just
would say,
noticing, Smitty. We don't care.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Expect to kick Jerry from Schmitty pretty soon. I
I
said
think I'd
hi,
scroll up and
Danny.
not see it.
I thought I seen Katie in here. Was she here? Or was I tripping? I thought I seen her here.
Yes. Yes, you do. Hello,
Oh,
Katie.
there she is. Hey, Katie. Yeah. If you want, oh, did I send you the link? I'm not sure if I sent you the link. I'll just pop it in the thing and nobody follow her. Hey, news now. Do you got a wrench here? Did I give you a wrench?
He does not.
Who? Enemy? Who doesn't have a wrench? Raise your hand if you don't have a wrench.
Looks like needs not enemy.
Okay. One sec. Entertain the masses, Scotto.
Oh, see, if on my first cup of coffee, Jerry, really. And I was just thinking of that this morning. I'm logging in. I'm like, how on earth did I let you talk me until like 10 a.m.? And my preacher mama would say, son, you had a moment of weakness.
Well, what's that? What's that hand? What's that hand? Is that a stop?
He's
Don't give
raising
me a
his
wrench, please, now,
hand.
enemy.
That's it. He's raising his hand to grab the wrench.
Oh, okay, okay. I'll throw it to him right now. I'm trying to get into. I'm trying to get into my own channel over here on what's wrong with YouTube.
Do you
I,
want to take bets, people? Of course, if Jerry's going to hit the back button and leave me stranded again, should we take bets?
right now, I'm gonna perma block some people.
Ooh, alrighty. I love
Here
it, Katie. They
comes
are gray
Pokey.
and naked.
What's up,
What's
Pokey?
up, brothers? What's up, bro?
Hanging, hanging, hanging.
How are you?
Choo
Here we go.
choo.
Here we go.
Hey, let me get off. Hold on, let me get off YouTube.
Why are you echoing? I
Yeah,
can't.
better
You
now.
know what? Everybody sounds real.
Yeah,
You sound great.
yeah,
Everybody sounds great right
yeah,
now. Like,
yeah. I had to turn off my YouTube channel Because if I put on YouTube and StreamYard, you're gonna get an echo.
Do, 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 do. I've been in a singing mood all day. I've just been like just going off. I don't even care. I've been seeing all kinds of genres, metal and like rock and stuff. I'm out of control right now.
Are you talking anything in general today, or just random stuff?
I'm
Are we
waiting for
doing?
Katie to get up here.
Oh,
Well, Katie's gonna kind of help me out with the things that I want to talk about. So I'm waiting for her to get up. But if you want to talk about something right now while we're waiting,
well, actually, you know what? I emailed Reaper, and I'm still gonna. You know what? I'm still gonna support her regardless.
what'd she
Because
do?
she didn't do nothing, but her account got hacked.
Her whole account, like the whole YouTube channel, got hacked.
No. As I forgot, I watched the replay of the live stream from yesterday. If you remember, she did a live stream yesterday, and
Yeah, I was there. I was there.
yeah, that's the one I was talking about.
Oh, okay. Well, as far as I know, she believes somebody hacked her phone. I think, but I don't know. That seems a little strange. Like as far as like things that get hacked, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know enough about technology. I know that there are remote um remote users like say like if I wanted to like if I had a kid and I wanted to make sure that he wasn't getting into anything bad, I could there's like a remote type of like thing that you can put on your computer where you can check on people what they're doing on their phone, kind of like a
Yeah,
supervisor thing, like So I've
yeah,
seen those, and so it's possible that they could have tricked her into like giving her IME number or something, and they and they
yeah,
and they would have like put it on. But that's like a long number, it's really long to just like extract it out of somebody. It's not like a pin code. So I wonder how that could have that. But that's the only way I could see that happening, where somebody could actually get into her phone and delete text. Like there's no other way.
yeah. And now, if I'm on my phone, if I'm on my smartphone, I put a lock on it. But yet somehow I on my smartphone, I keep getting calls from telemarketers, and I keep asking them, "How in the world did you get my number?"
Pokey, I hate to say it, but no matter what you do, those cars in the mall, they don't give them to nobody, man. That's just to collect numbers. That's all it is.
I
I
say,
still get people
hey,
asking me to want
what
to.
can you do? I say, what can you do?
What'd you say, Stato?
I still get people calling me saying, "Hey, we want to extend your car's warranty," and I'm like, "Dude, I haven't owned a car in 10 years."
You know what I get nonstop? Like I don't know what I did or what I signed up for, but every day without fail, I always get congratulations, congratulations, congratulations. I'm like, dude, if it was true that I won any of these prizes, like man, like these companies would go broke. Like all day, every day, all I get is congratulations. We have a Mastercard for you, Jerry. Come and sign up for it. Like, yeah, right.
Hmm.
Yeah, you know how that old saying goes: "You go woke, you go broke," and these corporates went woke, and they losing money.
Mm. I would say that this is when it comes to all that stuff, nobody's winning because it's like there a lot of companies that are based here in the United States are like they're just moving a lot of stuff, and it's like it's not good. I mean, I don't I'm not one to be like all behind corporations or anything, but it sucks when you see jobs moving to other countries. Hello, and I don't hear you. Are you muted?
Yeah, I have an XLR mic, so I have to unmute it a couple of different places to unmute. So And I don't have my lights ready yet. I wasn't prepared, man. Hey, Pokey.
That's
hey,
what we do
Scotto.
here, though.
How are you guys?
Hey,
Good morning.
I don't
hey,
think I've met
I'm doing
Pokey
good.
before.
I'm the one that does train videos and only has like close to 300 subscribers, and I'm trying to get at least to 500 if I can.
Okay. I love.
I'm like a
Wow.
very 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 small channel.
Like, what is that? There's a channel that I watch all the time where the guy, it's like a travel channel, and he travels on trains all the time. He just did a video or a series where he traveled from like Key West, Florida, all the way to Alaska on trains. You know who I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, I
Is
haven't
his
seen him in
name
a while, but I
Jed
know what
or
you're talking
Jeb?
about.
Let me find out who he is. I think Pokey would like, if you don't know who I'm talking about, you'd like it a lot, I think.
Is this the guy that does Amtrak? Like his name is either Jeb or Jed or something like that?
Yeah, something like that. Let's see.
Oh yeah, Scott knows who he is. Ex-boyfriend.
Train travel video. Let's see. What did you want to talk about, Jerry?
Oh well, yesterday you had me like with all the subjects that were coming up because I was like, yeah, I want to talk about that, and yeah, I want to talk. Well, because now you see, now that you're not you're unorganized. I'm unorganized. I need you to be organized now. No, okay.
The YouTuber's name I was talking about, it's called Downey Live, DOWNIE Live. But I know that Jeb person you were talking about too. But Downey Live makes good content as far as train travel videos. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know about Jeb. No, okay. Like one of the things that I wanted to talk about because it's just something that I haven't been able to talk about with a lot of people around here because I'm in LA. Is the situation with that pregnant lady that was being harassed over that bike?
I was getting into Twitter arguments just now about that.
Oh my gosh! I'm like, how can anybody like that one? You see, there's some arguments that have gone around, and people like are scared to touch them because they're like politically fired up or whatever.
Let me pull up
that
video.
one should not be.
I'll play the video for the audience, and then let me find it real quick. I didn't know that's what we were talking about, but I'll find the video real quick. We'll play it for them, and then we'll discuss it. I think that's the best way to go.
Yes, you see, this is why I like Katie.
Well, some people may not know what we're talking about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've seen that story. I've seen that city was the city nurse bike incident on I think it was a channel called Black Conservative Perspective, and he talked about that last night.
Well, a lot of the conservative channels got on it real fast because they usually get on it because whenever like one of the race hustlers gets on it and starts talking crap about it, it's that oh my gosh, and it's one of the worst ones that decided to make to go after this lady. That one dude, oh, I hate that dude, and I hate his mustache. I forgot his name though.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. That race hustler, Dr. Rashad Ritchie.
Yeah.
Greg got down on him. There's another channel called the Officer Tatum. He jumped down on him also. He destroyed him.
Oh, I haven't seen Tatum's take. But I just know that when he came on, I don't even know why they give that guy a platform. Like he's such he's disingenuous. Everything that he brings up is nothing but race. Everything is race. Nothing can be just like a regular like situation. He has to put up anything that looks one way or that can look one way. He just pushes that narrative, and I hate that. And like that's one of the worst things that I think like people like him are the worst things for our country right now because we have so many things that can divide us real easily. Like we could easily fight amongst each other for the most simplest things, and that's what he does. He just fires people up on the most simplest like narratives that are like so easily debunked too that I don't even understand why people even listen to his lies. It's like I just that whole story got me like like all kinds of mad, and they got the girl fired. They got her fired from her job. How? What? Well, isn't there a lawsuit there? There has to be a lawsuit there, right?
Oh, wrong
Well,
screen. Hold
the
on.
nurses, that okay, the pregnant nurse got her a lawyer, and she's going her lawyer's going to file suit against Mr. Ritchie and all the other race hustles that tried
Good.
that ruined her career.
Good. All right,
Oh,
I have
so
the
she
video
so
up if you wanna.
okay. Yeah, go ahead and
You gotta hit the
put
button.
it up. The
I have it.
button. Okay,
You gotta hit the button.
I got you.
You're producing here,
I got
man. You're the
I
producer.
got the button. I got the button.
All right, so this is I can't find the raw video. This is what I played on my show yesterday. So it's the New York Post, and it basically plays it, and then it just has text come up on the screen. It's
Hey,
not people
Katie.
talking through it. Yeah.
Hey, Katie, go under Black Conservative Perspective. He did a video on the same video that New York Post did.
Yeah,
'Cause
but
he did an
I don't.
update
I'm
last
looking.
night on it.
I'm looking for somebody who's not commentating on it. I just
Yeah,
we want to be the commentators here. We're just going to show the video.
Yeah.
And we're the
Yeah.
commentators.
Yeah.
I can
Well,
find
I'll
plenty of
definitely
commentating on it.
yeah, I'll definitely check it out later, Pokey. When we're done here, I'll check out his commentary on it.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
Help me! Please help me!
It's not your break.
Please help me!
It's not your break. It's not your break.
Please help me! Help! Please get off!
Wait, what the f going on,
Please get off!
Yo, don't not take it, bro. Now you're not getting the fake, bro. Hey, now you're not getting the fake.
Help!
You're not getting
Get
the
off!
fake. I'm
Dude.
not. No,
Why you took his phone?
stupid.
What's wrong with you?
Stupid as fuck. You're not
Don't touch
touching
his
my
phone.
phone.
Do not touch his phone.
I'm not touching you.
Why are you guys all around her? Why are you surrounding her?
That dude,
Gosh, man.
dude, stop. No. I said no. I said sit down.
Please!
She's just crying.
You're not crying. You're not crying. I got
Stupid.
I got you on
My
video.
bike.
Where you put it out? Hey, Hassan, you put it out? Hassan.
What? Not a hospital employee?
Hassan, you put it out?
This is my bike. It's on my account. Please move.
Oh, no wonder you were fighting on Twitter.
You said in the bike.
It's his. It's his. It's his. How you stop crying? Not a tear came down, miss. Not a tear came down.
All right, so a couple things I want to point out. Couple of things. First of all, hello News Now, no internet. And I got
Hey, sister, what's going on there?
did you guys know that News Now Enemy is my brother, like my actual real brother? I think I told you guys that before.
I think you did, yeah.
Like brothers in blood?
Yeah, like we have the same mother and father.
All right. It's not one of those hub situations.
Yeah. One thing I want to point out is that the gentleman came up, like there was a random person who wasn't involved in the situation. A third party comes up and says, "Hey, I have an idea of how we can fix this dispute that I see happening in front of me. We can just return the bike and then re-rent it." And the first thing the black guy says is, no, I'm not re-renting it. I'm not re-renting. It's because he never rented it. So since that video went viral, she's first of all got put on suspension from her job, which is ridiculous. It
That's
didn't have anything to do
bullshit.
with her job. And she was under investigation and had receipts. She had receipts that showed she rented that bike and then returned it like a minute and a half later and re-rented a new bike. You know what that guy has? Zero receipts. He was trying to steal a bike, and the whole group of them were just gaslighting her and gaslighting the situation, and people are falling for it. It's ridiculous. Like, I don't care. Like, there's a lot of people bringing up race and stuff in this. I don't care about the races of the people involved. I care about the fact that there's a criminal committing a crime against a person. I don't care about the color of the criminal. I care about the crime that's being committed. That's my take.
Yeah, that's that thing that they're doing nowadays. It's like if it's a criminal, any other criminal other than a white criminal, because obviously white's evil, right? White's the most horrible thing in the world.
I'm gonna
So
clip that. I'm
anybody,
totally gonna clip that out of context. White's
thank
evil.
you.
White's sorry.
But that's the thing, is that anybody who's not white, it's like, oh, they have an excuse for that person's behavior, and it's like at some point there's no excuse for that. There's no excuse for surrounding, and I think it was your friend yesterday that said she had a hard time feeling sympathetic for the lady, because she comes off kind of like
She does.
you might like kind of Karenish or whatever. I get it, but there's still that's when you see the situation, and regardless of whether you like the lady or not, it's a bunch of grown, young men who are surrounding her, and in any other instance, if we're not talking about a bike, if it's not the middle of the day, what are they trying to do to her?
Yeah.
It's like
Not to
it's
mention
a
that
very
she's-
scary situation.
So they were, first of all, they bleeped some of the stuff the men were saying to her, but they said, "I hope your baby comes out retarded," which is a horrible thing
Wow.
to say. They said she was fake crying, but also she's pregnant. So I don't know. I don't know if any of you have been pregnant before, but emotions are like crazy.
That was 18.
That was a joke, guys. I know. I obviously have been pregnant before. You gotta laugh at my jokes, or I feel bad.
I'm smiling. I'm sorry. This is why I should be on camera. I'm laughing.
Hey Jerry, the only thing I gotta say about those five guys, they a bunch of thugs, and
Yeah.
and BLM is going to protest that they got arrested. They'll be protesting.
They will be, and not only will they protest, they will end up. So first of all, the people that are out there at the protest did not do 5 minutes of research into the story to find out that she was totally in the right. And even though she acted weird, I guess you could say, she acted in a way that is not becoming. Like, oh, this is my impression. Oh, help me, please, somebody help. Like it came off as fake, you know what I mean? But it wasn't
Mhm.
fake. She actually was being robbed at that moment. So I mean, you can judge her by her tone, I guess, but she was being robbed in that moment, but
Yeah,
the people that are
and-
protesting
and-
will end up burning down businesses of people who have nothing to do with it. They will jump on
Mhm.
police cars, which comes out of all of our taxpayer money, by the way. So when they're burning up cities, it affects all of us. And the other part that really gets me is they burn down their own areas. It's real quick side note. Our brother, News No Enemy, is calling me right now. No.
Don't blame
Ooh,
me. That's not
is he
our
watching
brother.
us?
No, I got nothing to do with that.
I'm not answering. I'm busy right now. Anyway,
Uh-oh.
long story short is they burn down their own neighborhoods, and then they wonder why they can't like there's old women and single moms with kids and stuff that need to have those resources available for them. There's grandmothers who live in their neighborhoods and they need the corner store there because they have no other way to get groceries or get the medicine that they need and stuff like that. And it breaks my heart for the people that live in that area because of their income level, and they have no choice but to live there. And then there's other people who are their neighbors who are just burning it down and don't even care.
Yeah,
about
no,
it.
and you know what, Katie, it's even more nefarious than that, because a lot of the times the people that are in the community, the actual community, the people that are in it, are not the ones who are causing the destruction. It's usually like the race hustlers that bring crowds from other cities, from other towns, to come into that place and cause a lot of havoc and everything. And for them, these are young kids. I mean, we tend to see them as, like, look at what they're doing because they're doing some, like, horrible stuff. But they're usually like 17 and 18. You know, like they're really gullible. They're not paying attention to anything, and to them, this is something that's really happening. So they think they're doing something that's justified, but it clearly is not, and it's really bad. And these people will come and cause all this destruction, all this protest or whatever for one situation that come a month from now they're not going to give a damn about. They're not going to care. They're not even going to. They're going to forget why they even went over there in the first place.
Yeah.
You're on mute, Katie.
They're painting her as a racist, and they want her fired from her job. And because she works in a hospital, and they're like, well, if she works in a hospital, she's going to be racist to her patients. First of all, this woman is not racist. She was being robbed. I don't think it matters what color of the skin it was of the person robbing her. I think the same situation would have happened. But the fact, just because she was white and they were black, then she's automatically a racist. It's ridiculous.
Agreed.
Erica, we're talking about the lady that was being robbed for her bike, which at first was being painted as her trying to rob.
It
the,
still is.
the
I was on Twitter
it
this
still is.
morning. People are arguing that she's racist and she needs to be investigated, as a, like as if she's
Wow.
going to Klan rallies or burning crosses in people's yards. She was being robbed, and she didn't want. She stood up for herself, which I appreciate. By the way, if you're getting like, don't let yourself be a victim. She was not letting herself be a victim, so I appreciate that about her.
Yeah, I don't I for the life of me I don't understand this delusion that people have that just because like there's black people involved in a situation that automatically some sort of racism has to be involved. Like, can we just stop doing that? People involved in a situation that.
Sorry, I did.
Oh, that was your video, huh?
Oh, okay. I was wondering if News Now enemy was saying something because I saw his thing flashing. It's very difficult when I can't see y'all's faces. I hate it. By the way, you know that, Jerry. I
Ooh.
told
No,
you.
no. I was just trying to sound like Jerry and echo all over the place. Did I do a good job?
You made me echo.
Like number 2 was echoing yesterday. I don't know how to fix that. Yeah.
Look, News Now, Tormentor. I already fixed my mic, okay?
Hang on. You know what? I can make it even worse. Let me turn on the speaker and put the room live on YouTube. We'll have a triple echo. Hang on.
Oh my goodness.
I'll
Be
do
nice.
this. Good.
Don't make me.
Why
keep
do I
talking.
allow you here? Look at this. My friends. These are my friends.
Okay, so give me the backstory on that because I don't know. Like people, every time you come into a chat, I see people hashtag that. What is that? What is that?
You saw that guy Schmitty that was here earlier. He puts Schmitty don't care and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, he's the one who started it because we wanted to get on the same panel together. So we were trying to get on together, but they invited me and not him. And so because we're cool and everything, and we laugh and joke. He started putting on the chat, kick Jerry, kick Jerry, kick Jerry,
Oh,
and it kind of
gotcha.
caught on.
Okay.
it caught on that day. That day became a big thing, and then he just every time he sees me, anytime I'm on a panel or even on mine, he's like, kick Jerry. And your brother automatically, like, he gravitated towards it. He's like, yes, like I needed this.
Yeah. My brother.
Does that also tie
waits-
into sometimes you will jump in a chat and say, "Hey Jerry, am I still down in the well?"
Oh, that was the Reaper stuff. Yeah, when we were doing the well stuff, because at that time I had got a mic, but that mic sounded like it was like a gaming mic. So it has the headset and the mic is coming out to your mouth. It would be really long, so it would sound like I was in a well. It would sound like I was like talking in a tube.
So, Scotto, we haven't heard from you about this situation, I don't think. What do you think of this situation with the woman in New York and the bicycle and all that?
Well, I highly agree. It doesn't matter like the color of who all is involved. They were committing a crime. And I don't really like the part where they talked about her crocodile tears because I could see she was crying. It like from the video, it looked like she was kind of
Mhm.
being surrounded, for lack of a better way, and I could totally see how she was overwhelmed in that moment.
Yeah. Well, they're saying that because then after that man came up and was trying to resolve the situation, she stopped crying. So apparently, if you start crying, you can never stop or something. Is there like I don't get it. But she took a
Yeah,
deep. You could see her take a deep breath and get her shit together. Sorry for swearing. I try not to swear online.
no, you're
She took a
good. You're
deep
good.
breath and took a deep breath and got herself together and stopped crying, and then they're saying that her tears were fake. But I mean, as a woman, and knowing that when you're pregnant you have surges of emotions and like you can't help it, I don't think that was fake at all. I don't think she was fake crying at all, personally.
Right,
Yeah,
and she could have
I don't
calmed
think she was. I
down
don't think she
simply
was faking it
because
either.
this, right? She
Sick.
totally could have been calming down because this
Mhm.
third party came in and,
Mhm.
just
Right.
defusing the situation a little bit where it got more under control.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point. And check this out. The thing is that another thing too is that I love how everybody can exclaim what everybody else is feeling. You know, especially the white lady that's surrounded by people by people that are trying to steal her bike or whatever, right?
Yeah.
It's like I love how they can just come up with these feelings for her and stuff like that, and they know exactly what the criminals are thinking, right?
Yeah.
Oh, what were they doing? Oh, this lady came to steal from them. Really? Like,
That's the thing, Jerry. Like, tell me in your, I think I said this on my show yesterday, but in your experience, do you think that a 6-month pregnant white lady is going to walk up to a group of 5 black guys who are obviously taller, more muscular, bigger than her and try to steal their bike? It just doesn't make sense on the surface. Even when you don't know what like the backstory or the fact that she ended up showing receipts and stuff like this, it just doesn't make any sense at all that she would walk up to a group of 5 men, black, white, whatever, just 5 men, and try to steal a bicycle from them. It's
that's
dumb.
that's the part that's the part that to me it makes it like so much more egregious
Mhm.
than just the fact that oh people are maybe not understanding certain things. It's like you guys, a one white lady coming from her job, and it's confirmed that she is a nurse. For whoever thinks that she's a fake nurse, she's not a fake nurse. She's a nurse.
Yeah.
A nurse getting out of work sees
Just trying
5
to go
black guys
home.
and says,
Yeah.
"Yeah." And she sees 5 black guys and she goes, "There's my easy target. Those are my suckers right there."
Yeah.
Like what?
What do you think, Pokey? Had you first of all, Pokey, had you seen the video before I just played it right now? And what did you think about it? Pokey, you there? Did we lose Pokey?
I don't know. Do you know you're on mute, Pokey? I
Do I
didn't
need?
mute you though.
Maybe I need to do
No,
a train. I need to do a
no,
train whistle noise to call him.
yeah. Sorry, I muted myself. So actually, those 5 guys that tried to steal the bike, it was disgusting. They need to, if they really want to get a buy, if they want that bike, go get a job.
Well, first of all, it wasn't even like it was her bicycle. It was a city bike. So, I mean, here's the deal with the city bikes is that it's an app on your phone and you rent it. It's kind of like those scooters in LA. I know you guys have a lot of scooters out there. You might have
Yeah.
bikes too now. I haven't been to LA since like 2017 or something. But
Yeah, we love our scooters over here.
the thing is, once it's on your app, like that bike number is assigned to your app. And if anything happens to it, you're on the hook for it. So if that guy would have taken that bike from her, if she would have just let it happen, and he took that bike and he drove it into the river and just like did whatever with it, she would have been on the hook for like $8,000. It's an electric bike, you know? So they could have rented a bike. It's like a couple of dollars a mile or something. It's not even like
Yeah,
they would
that-
have to have, yeah. It's not like they would even have to have like a bunch of money to buy. And secondly, you can get a bike at Walmart for like $100 that you would own. Then it would be your bike, you know?
Right. And the thing that's it's like it's obvious what these guys are doing. they because this was like a lot for those bikes, right? It was like a place where people would drop off those bikes where they were at.
It was a docking
So
station where they charge them and stuff. Yeah.
yeah, so it was obvious what these guys were doing. They were holding out right there until somebody purchased the bike,
Hmm.
and then the minute that person purchased the bike, they because they would get unlocked, they would start using it. Then the person who's coming over to pick up the bike is going to be like, "Hey, where's my bike?" or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And they're hoping that in that confusion they could just take off with it. Now maybe they didn't get there on time, or maybe she was closer than what they thought, and so when she came up to him and confronted him like, "Hey, that's my bike,"
Yeah.
they probably were just like waiting for it to unlock it, like just unlock it, like, or you know what I mean? Like gaslight, like you said, they were gaslighting everybody. Like the guy that came up and tried to help him out with the situation because
Mhm.
they were acting like, no, this is my bike or whatever, and it's like the dude had the perfect solution,
Yeah. Return
unpurchase
it.
it and
Yeah.
repurchase it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that situation. Go ahead.
They immediately, the guy, let me pull the video back up. Immediately that guy was like, no. Hold on, let me find that part.
And, on the note of her being a nurse, she just got off work. Who knows what she had to go through on her day at work, and she could have been emotional even just coming out of work. I mean, that's
No,
going to extreme here, but she could have had a patient die on her.
Yeah.
Scott, don't you know nothing matters anymore because evil white racism is everywhere, and we have to get rid of evil white racism. That's what's going on. Like that's important right now. Not nurses getting off of work who have done their job. Who knows, 12 hours, 18 hours, God knows how many hours they put in, and it's just trying to get home. And maybe or like her kids are waiting for her or some. Man, it's just that whole situation is so aggravating and for these like idiots the things that I'm done. Like since the last incident with that guy in the subway with that they didn't press charges on him, then they press charges on him. It's like I'm done with this bullshit. I'm done with this. We got to call it for what it is. We got race hustlers and race baiters that are just making money off of this shit. They don't care about the situations. They cause a bunch of hysteria amongst people that I don't know what do they want? Like what are you doing when you like supposedly get these wins because you're not getting anything out of it.
They're
All you're
getting
doing is
money.
supposedly.
They're
Oh, I know
dividing
that. I
the
know that.
country for a couple of dollars. They're getting
Right.
their 30 silver pieces for betraying everyone, society. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's those guys like the guy that came on the news that I hate that dude. Him and what was that other one? Joy. They're like terrible. They're racist. They're the actual racists. Like they're real racists.
Yeah.
They talk about they talk about everything that's white is bad, and
Mhm.
anybody who believes that white can be good is bad, and
Yeah.
and nothing that black people do is bad. Everything that black people do is good, and
Don't
and
make
if
me
there's a criminal.
don't make me bring up the FBI crime statistics.
Yeah, I know. Trust me, I know. Like I said, I live in LA. I see the delusion and I see the reality. It's like it doesn't make it gets frustrating because it's like I lived through the '90s. I seen people like fight each other over colors. You know what I mean? Over bandanas. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's like this is ridiculous. This is all bullshit. Like in 2004 when I left high school and everything, and like I was going out there, shit was so like not about race anymore. Like I didn't even like I would have friends. I never had to say like, oh, I have black friends. I never had to say that. I had them. They were there. Like, but I never said, oh, those are
Exactly.
my black friends. They're just my friends.
Yeah.
And I went through that whole decade without ever worrying about this. Then 2010 happened, and like I don't know what happened. Like I don't know why all of a sudden everything became about race. Like
It's
what?
ever since OJ. Ever since OJ. It all became about race.
Johnny Cochran. Oh,
Yeah.
who are we letting
Hey,
in?
number 2's in the chat. Hey, number 2.
Oh, number 2. Hey.
Hey, number 2, what's going? Hey, does this sound any better?
Yeah, it sounds fine.
Heck yeah. You sound like Jerry 4 months ago.
Yeah, so I pulled it up again. So after, we just discussed it, so you can I want to play it again. It's only a minute and a half, so you guys can hear the different things that I was talking about, them calling her the R word. They were telling her she was fake crying. And then the guy, the one thing I really want to point out is the third party that comes up says we should just return the bikes and start over. And this guy in the purple shorts immediately says, no, I'm not doing that, because he's trying to steal a bike. So, all right, here we go.
Help me! Please help
It's
me!
not your bike.
Please help me!
It's not your bike.
Please help me! Help! Please get off me!
Hey, what the f*** is going on, bro?
Please get off me!
Yo, don't not take it, bro. Now you're not getting the fake, bro. Now you're not getting the bike.
Help!
You're not getting
Get
the
off
fake.
me!
I'm not.
Why you took his phone? What's wrong with you?
You're not
Don't touch
touching
his
my
phone.
phone.
Do not touch his phone.
I'm not touching you. You putting your stomach on my hand.
No, dude, stop. No, dude, stop. No. I said no. I said sit down.
Please help me!
She's just crying.
You're not crying. I got
Stupid.
I got your
My
video.
bike.
Where you put it out? Hey, Hassan, you put it out? Hassan.
A hospital worker behaving like this while she's getting
Sure.
carjacked. Imagine
Sorry,
if
you
you
put it up.
rented a car
Sure,
and
sure.
you're pulling it.
I'm not resetting the bike.
It's his.
Oh, it's not her car. She rented
So
it.
did you guys hear that? The guy says reset the bike. He reset the
Yeah.
bike. And the first thing, all right, listen to this part.
It's his.
Oh, hold on, let me rewind a little more.
It's his.
That one Twitter that one tweet got me so mad right now. That the best thing to do is to take the whole video and then take it to her employer. Oh, shut the fuck up! You know, like mind your own business. You're not adding nothing to it. Why are you trying to fire the poor lady? Even if let's just say that this situation, was somehow in some kind of way her fault. There's no reason to try to get somebody fired. Like what is
That's
this?
that cancel culture. That's that cancel culture. If anybody does anything wrong, that's why I don't like driving around in my work uniform. Because if I do anything on the clock or off the clock and it gets back to my work, it's that cancel culture bullshit is why they're getting away with this.
it's just sad. It's sad that grown adults have to act, like, oh, I'll get you back. I'll get you. I'll make sure that they fire you from your job. It's like don't you have a family? Don't you understand what it's like? It's hard enough. Like we're having so many problems. Like it's hard just to go to the grocery store. I've never had this much trouble, like trying to buy groceries just for myself. Like it's hard. And I can imagine somebody who has kids. It's hard. And you're gonna try to get them fired over what? Over some
Yeah.
petty shit?
All right, let me play the last 30 seconds and just the part that I really want people to hear is this guy saying, no, I'm not resetting the bike. He can't reset the bike. It's not in his account. So, all right, here we go.
Set the bike. I'm not resetting the bike.
It's his.
I'm gonna throw it out of your account.
Ridiculous.
How you stop crying? Not a tear came down, miss. Not a tear came down.
Yeah.
Maybe she's mortified. Maybe like
What?
somebody could be in so much shock that there's people surrounding her that. What is she worried about tears for? She's trying to protect her kid, man. It's like I wanted to talk about this. I wanted to talk about this, but the reason why I wanted to talk about it is because of these situations, like how that gaslighting, that just the fact that people are making it seem like it's okay to call her a racist and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, hang
It's-
on. I think she might be a racist. She refused to be a victim of a black man. That's racism.
Nowadays it
Oh,
is.
shit.
Nowadays.
Evil white racism.
I'm trying to convince number 2 to come on here. I don't think it's working though. I'm texting her. Number 2, I know
Hey,
you
the-
can hear me.
The water's
Number
nice.
2, come on up.
She just texted me. She's like, "Is that your brother? It sounds just like your brother." I'm like, "Yes, that's my brother." She said, "I recognize that voice anywhere."
She used to
Whoa.
razz my name when I first came in your room. This guy's an enemy. He needs to go. I remember that. But again, she didn't know who I, you didn't know who I was at that point.
No, yeah, I didn't know. What other stories did you want to talk about, Jerry? I think we beat this one to death.
Yeah, I know. It's good because I wanted like it got a little bit of the venti now because
Yeah.
I've kind of been a little bit wound tight on this story and on the subway one with with the marine that killed the bum, and the bum, like was Michael Jackson, I guess. And you know
Yeah.
poor menacing bum that was trying to hurt people. uh like those two just had me wound up real tight.
There's like 20 witnesses on that case that all say that he did the right thing. So if he goes to if it actually goes to trial and he doesn't plead it down or whatever, I think that if a jury does find him guilty of anything, then obviously the jury is racist and they're only finding him guilty because he's white and the dude was black. Because if 20 people who were eyewitnesses who were there say no, he did nothing wrong. You can hear in the video them thanking him for stopping this, like from stopping it from escalating anymore. Also, you can see on the video him putting Michael Jackson in the recovery position, trying to save his life. So he was not trying to kill anybody. Now,
No,
on the other hand,
and
oh, sorry. On
I'm
the other
thinking the
hand,
farthest they can go is involuntary manslaughter.
that's what I was going to say, News Now Enemy. Involuntary manslaughter
Eddie, you can call me Jim.
Okay, sorry. It's really hard not to. That's what because somebody did die. Like if you are reckless driving and somebody dies, you still get charged with involuntary manslaughter and that sort of thing. So if they find that the chokehold was too long or something like that, where he was reckless, that's the only way that I think that he would end up being charged or end up being convicted of involuntary manslaughter.
right, and I understand the parameters of involuntary manslaughter, but you see where it's bullshit. At least as far as like what I've seen in other cases. um
Mhm.
the people he wasn't the only one holding him down. There was
Yeah.
there was two other guys that were holding him down too. And if anybody knows the other case, what is it? The one with those with the off duty cop, and they chased down a guy who was walking through like a construction site. And so when they chased him down, the guy with the camera was like behind everything, right? And because he was behind everything, he got charged.
Oh
He got
yeah,
charged.
that was in
and
Georgia.
and, and, and
That was here.
Yeah, and then you got the Floyd one, where the officer, the one that was doing crowd control, he got charged as well because he didn't stop
That's
the crime
right.
from happening.
Yeah.
So
What crime?
if this
There
was
was.
something like that.
You don't even want to get me started on George Floyd. People will disagree.
I know, I know, but the point is that the fact remains is that they're just charging the one guy when there was three guys holding him down, and
Yeah.
they're charging him directly for the choking. But he was just restraining him, and he was on the side of of the head. It's like it's obvious that they're just charging him for the political reason that it's white versus black.
Exactly. And if you look at the autopsy, he died of a drug overdose. And when you look at the video, his knee was on the guy's shoulder, not his neck. That's all I'm going to say about that. If you want more details, go to my channel. It gets spicy over there.
No, I mean, I'm glad that you're doing that. I mean, I actually, like, I always push back on it, and it has nothing to do with, like, everybody always starts like, if you push back, it's like, what are you, a cocksucker? Or you, what are you, like, like you're trying to be white or something. That's what, like, that's what, like, white people like to do a lot.
No,
Like, the Mexicans that like are a little bit darker, they like to say that stuff. They're like, oh, you're just trying to be white. You're just trying to, like, what the hell are you talking about? Like,
the
I'm not.
thing is, if you take each case, a case by case basis, it doesn't matter white, black, Mexican, whatever. If you take it case by
Right.
case and you do the research yourself and come to your own opinions, means your IQ is higher than the people that are just going along with the crowd. So for them to
Yeah.
call you racist or whatever they're saying that you want to be white. That's ridiculous. You want to be correct. So you do the research yourself and you form opinions based on the research, not off of the color of people's skin.
Right. Yeah. No. Number two, that's kind of like the direction I want to take this channel, but not in the direction that it's like it has to be spicy. I just want people to think logically. Like stop thinking like with the crowd. Like stop thinking that like everything is just because it's black and white.
Hmm.
And this is the thing is that like because they're going so extreme with shit like that, you have to kind of preface the things that you actually do think are racism. You know what I mean? Like you have to
Yeah,
kind of like give them like and it's like it sucks because like now when there is like a real racist situation, it's like it's difficult. It's not some sort of extreme thing. Oh man.
exactly. I don't really. I hate to say I don't see race, but when I'm researching a case, it doesn't matter to me what the race of the people are who are involved in the case. So I do see race and I know that race has a lot to do with people's day-to-day lives, but when we're talking about like I have a true crime channel. So the crimes, it doesn't matter like unless there's a racial component, like it's a racist that's killing somebody because he's racist. That's the only time race matters in a crime. Most of the time it doesn't matter at all. It's the facts of
Right.
the case that matter.
And it seems that the only racism that people want to highlight is the one that it's white against black,
Mhm.
because black against Asian, they don't talk about that. You know what I mean?
And that's a
They
serious
don't talk.
issue.
Yeah, that's like some. I've seen some real like racism between
Mhm.
blacks and Asians. I've seen some real nasty racism between blacks and Asians.
Yeah.
There's also like some racism in between Hispanic cultures that people don't understand, like Salvadorians versus Mexicans. It's like it's pretty nasty, and
Same thing with Asian
people don't talk
countries.
about it.
Yeah, same thing with Asian people who are from Korea, Japan, China really look down upon people that are from like Southeast Asia, from from Vietnam and from Laos and places like that. There's a lot of racism there.
Yeah, well, I mean, if that's just, we could talk about this all day, honestly. I don't have too many outlets because, like I said, I'm in LA. So I guess I just want to vent about it a little bit more, but it's
Okay.
fine. We can move on.
Did somebody just rack a gun in the background? I really heard.
No,
Okay.
no, it's me. Had to take a blood thinner.
Oh, gotcha. It really sounded like somebody racked a gun.
You have to take the blood thinner from a 9mm.
No,
It was a 22. It's fine.
no. I had to take a blood thinner because I suffer from blood clots.
Oh, okay. Well, stay
Oh,
healthy,
it's okay.
man.
Yeah. Hey, was you on the Reapers chat yesterday? Because I saw you in there. You was on Broader Reapers chat?
Who are you talking to? Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in there.
Yeah. Have you subscribed to Reaper?
Oh yeah. Yeah, we've talked.
Oh.
We've emailed back and forth a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. We love. I say we love Reaper, and we also love Mr. and Mrs. Tro. Father Tro.
I don't think I know. I mean,
Well,
I'm very much on the outskirts of that community, so I do like I was preparing my stream for yesterday, and I just had them on in the background. So
yeah.
I was kind of listening, saying hi.
Well, I was gonna say, make sure you subscribe to the Father Tro channel.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. I probably already am. It's just there's so many of them that I just can't keep them straight in my head.
Would you stop telling on me, Scotto?
The whole reason I found this whole community is because of Jim was up here visiting and gave me Hezekiah's book. It's back there on my shelf. And I, subscribe to Hezekiah and hang out in his live streams in the morning. And then from there, every Saturday he's got different people on. And I found Big West. You guys know Big West?
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I've been on his show a couple of times. So
I'm shocked. I'm
Remember-
shocked that Big West even has a show that's like organized and everything.
yeah.
June
Why?
24th, Katie's on. June 24th.
Oh, on Hezekiah's
What?
channel? Yeah.
Yeah.
That should be fun.
Oh, today today my partner is going to be there. I'm going to start doing a show with Professor Craig. He just really got onto the anti-fodder community too, and he, I've been helping him get acquainted with it, like as far as like the fodders that he's been choosing to make videos on. So he decided to like he wants to do lives now and everything. He said let's start doing some shows. So he wants to do like I don't know if he said 1 a week or 3 a week. I don't know, but yeah, he's going on there today.
I want somebody who's familiar with this. I'm asking for a volunteer right now. So I want to cover some of the frauditors, but what I want to cover is the ones who've actually committed crimes. So I know there was one that Hezekiah was talking about the other day that like was in jail for like having child porn on his computer or something like that.
Yeah.
I need like a research
Certain.
assistant because I'm just not familiar with these cases, and they're just so niche and specific that it's hard to find like the court documents and stuff like that. So if somebody wants to volunteer to be my research assistant, just specifically for that genre, for frauditors who commit real life crimes,
Well,
I'd love to cover it.
Hey, I got
I
one
have
for you,
3 words
Katie.
for you, Kate.
Look
Earl
up.
and
One at a
Warden.
time.
Okay. I was getting ready to say, you got one frauditor that's in a whole lot of trouble. Denver Metro Audits.
Well, what I need is somebody to find like the court records or to, send me news articles or something like that. Let me put my Discord link in the chat, and then if
Sex
If
offender
you-
lists, stuff like that.
yeah, send me
And
me the stuff.
if you want to like have a good contact for those resources as well, I would suggest you get into Kick's Discord. Kick usually has like a lot of that information, just in case you're having trouble finding it. He usually has a lot of that stuff like readily available because he's already like pulled it out, screen recorded it, and all that stuff.
Oh,
But
I can't.
I was gonna say,
I forgot. I'm not a mod. I can't put stuff in your chat, so I don't think it's gonna show
Hey,
up.
Yeah,
hey,
you should
Katie.
be by now.
I'm also on Discord under Pokey number 7073. That's the name of
Here.
my Discord channel.
Pokey, I'm gonna put.
oh, so
my
that's what we're doing
Discord-
now. Everybody just shilling their Discord now, huh? That's that
Well,
what we're
no,
doing? Everybody just shills their Discord.
Yeah, I'm gonna put my
Jerry, you
Discord
never gave
invite.
Katie a wrench?
That's okay. I don't want a wrench. I'm gonna put my Discord link in the private chat, Pokey. So just find me on, or join my Discord or whatever. All of you, Scotto, Jerry. I think Jim's already in there.
Yeah, I got it.
But
Hey, I got it.
and then I have 5 folders set up for Crimeland and for Overruled. Crimeland's, by the way, the name of one of my shows. I'm wearing my merch right now. But in the Crimeland folder or whatever, put stories about the frauditors in there so I can find them, and I'll do a whole show. Actually, Jerry, that'd be a good show for you to come on to talk about. We were trying to find a subject for you to come on with when you're willing to turn on your camera. Only when you're willing to turn on your camera, and we'll cover all of the crimes. There's I told you the reasons. It's not. I'm not trying to like face dox people.
No, it's fine.
But there's specific reasons.
No, I get you. No, and my reason too is that it's not even like it's not even that big of a deal. It's just that the one thing that is the hardest thing for me to like get over is the handshaking. I have to have a good thing to like set up like where I'm gonna put my camera and everything, because when I'm
here's the thing. Number 2 yesterday, she doesn't have a computer even. She does like all she did was she took her phone or her iPad or whatever it is and like set it up against like she put books or a box or something and then just set it and like made sure it was plugged in, had her earphones on, so you could do it with your phone. Just instead of holding it, just set it somewhere and prop it up.
no, I hear you on that. I just the other part too, like the aesthetic part,
Mhm.
South Central alternative. Anyways, it just in time, I will. It's not something. I don't like being behind the avatar either, because I do a lot of expressions that I think people should see. So yeah, it's not gonna be for a long time. I just got to get my tech up, and when I do, I'll feel more comfortable being in front of the camera.
You just got to jump in the deep end, man.
You know what,
and-
Katie? That's how my uncle taught me how to swim, and I haven't talked to him since.
Just jump in the deep end. Prop your phone up. Just do it. That's what I
Go
did.
for
Number
it,
2
dude.
did that
Whatever the
yesterday.
cost, just go for it.
Number 2 did not, like, she was nervous about being on. She'd never been on a live streamer at all, like, ever before, not with face, no face, or whatever. And I just threw her right in the deep end, and I think we did pretty good together.
You guys
Yeah,
did a
no,
really
your
good
show
job.
went good yesterday.
Yeah, I'm gonna have her on more often for sure.
Do you have to have a number 1 if you have a number 2?
There's a whole story behind the reason why she's number 2.
Hey, there's a number 3. There's also a number 3. I've met
There's
her.
a number 3. Okay, so number 2's name is Karen, which is unfortunate because people have ruined that name. But when we were kids, there was lots of Karens. It was a very popular name. So there was Karen number 2, Karen number 3, Psycho Karen, Karen the Great, who named herself, by the way, our sister, Jim,
Obviously.
named herself
I
Karen the
know.
Great, and Psycho Karen. So there was 5 Karens, and she's number 2 is number 2 because she's the shit.
Oh, it's so simple, but it's good.
And I was getting ready to chastise you, Jerry. I was like, wow, we're really going there with the potty humor, but it fits. You know?
That's
All
why
right, now that everybody's met Circle K,
yeah, we don't talk to any of the other Karens anymore, but number
Oh
2
my God.
remain number 2.
I like how we just got a whole bunch of lore right now, mixed in with some pettiness. That was great. That was good.
well, you got to remember, when you step in number 2, some of it goes with you.
You guys have been really working on this number 2, jokes. I know you have. These are legacy jokes.
She's been number 2 for, I mean, what year is it now? So it's got to be like 25 years now. She's been number 2.
No,
20 years.
longer than that.
No, I'm
Wow.
not that old. You're that old. I'm not that old. Jim is way older than me.
It was before I left Chicago, and I left Chicago about 28 years ago.
No.
Wait a minute. How much older is Jim from you? Is Jim like the youngest of a whole other group of brothers and sisters, and you came as an accident or something?
That's true.
I'm the middle kid. I was the accident. I'm the middle kid.
Yeah. There was okay, so we have 5 siblings altogether.
I
There's a
got
lot
2
of-
older and 2 younger.
Yeah. And I have 1 younger.
Oh, you're right in the middle, huh?
I'm
Yeah.
always in the middle of it.
True. Ain't that the truth? But yeah, he's 7 years older than I am. Was the question, I think. Was the answer to the question.
Well, you just gave away your
Oh,
age.
7
Some
years.
people know my age.
They don't know how old I am, so
Well, they know how old I am.
Well,
that's fine.
just looking at Katie, she's let me calculate.
Well, then again, they got math.
What?
I'm a middle-aged white woman who's into true crime, so I'm a walking
Racist!
cliche. I'm a walking cliche. Did you want
This
to
is the
talk?
most-
I know you mentioned in that email that you were talking about that ATF thing. Did you want to talk about that too?
Oh yeah. Oh right. I'm sorry. I was in my the race hoster, all that stuff. I was in that, but the ATF thing that got to me too, because I thought that was bullshit. I thought it was bullshit that the ATF made a rule without the legislators to come in and there was no vote in the Senate for that shit. So I don't know how they're enforcing that, And the fact that you actually had a video where they're enforcing it, that kind of threw me for a rage when I was watching it, because that was the first time I saw it.
Let me find that video. Actually, I think it's in my Discord somewhere. Let's see. Here it is.
That's hilarious, Danny.
So, let me put up the video, and then I'll give a little backstory about it, and then play the video.
Oh, wrong button. Don't you hate when that happens?
Right? Jerry did it to me like twice.
You try to make the screen bigger and you make it go.
I hit the wrong button.
Yeah.
That's what you're
Button,
saying.
button.
You're supposed to hit the like button, not the close button.
I know. I hit the wrong button. Okay, so what I was saying is I'll do a little backstory about this, and then we'll play the video. I'm just totally producing your show for you right now, Jerry. I hope you don't mind.
Be my guest.
I like the producer role. It's good. So this ATF,
You're good in it.
the ATF made a rule that FRTs are now illegal, and they said if you have an FRT, then if you own it in 30 days, you're gonna be a criminal, which is ridiculous. So that's the backstory of it, and then we'll play the video, and then I'm sure some people don't know what an FRT is and stuff like that, so we'll go over all that too. I'm kind of into guns, so I can tell you about it.
Yeah, Jerry's
Well,
going to kick me.
I heard.
Katie had differing opinions on this.
Say that again, Jim. You're kind of low.
Jerry's going to kick me because we have differing opinions on this slightly.
No, it's good.
Oh.
Okay, first of all, when people kick people out because they don't agree with them, what you're doing is causing an echo chamber, and having people on that have different opinions makes for better content. So if he does that,
Yeah, that's not my thing.
all right,
Yeah,
hit the button.
I didn't know if you wanted to see the brother and sister.
Hit the button. We'll play the video.
Both of y'all.
All right, I'm gonna let it play through because it's 4 minutes long, and I need to go to the ladies' room real quick while this is playing. So
Number 2.
no, number one, number one, and I got to refill my water too.
Yeah.
Hey, Katie.
I own the company.
Hey,
What?
Katie.
Yeah.
Hey, at least the character you're not talking about is Screaming Regan. Regan Benson.
I don't know
We
who that is.
Oh wow, is that somebody that's introduced you to?
Yeah, she's a frauditor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's
gonna love this lady.
All right, let me play this video, and I will be back in a minute and a half.
Company Moonlight Industries.
Okay. Oh, really?
So we make like low visibility.
Oh, really?
We specialize in like right now we have a contract with SEAL Team 6 actually.
Okay.
We make their like low visibility MP7 rigs.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hey guys, I'll be right back. I got
were you expecting us?
I got to go to the
Well, it didn't
restroom.
surprise me when I
I'll be
saw
right
a guy in a
back.
plate
Go ahead, man. Handle it. You're good.
Well,
got the
we're
Ultima
obviously-
OTBs on. So.
Yeah, no. So the reason why we're here is because I don't know. I'm sure you're aware that just recently the ATF classified the FRTs, the force
Sure.
reset triggers,
Mhm.
as machine guns.
Yeah.
So we are aware that you may have purchased some of these FRTs.
Okay.
So now we are having like the whole agency is basically reaching out to these purchasers,
That's incredible. Yeah.
and we have to pick them up. You know, they're
Okay.
illegal.
So I won't be
Um,
answering any questions today. I don't have any comments on this subject. I won't be giving you anything.
Okay, so you
Are you refusing to give us the trigger?
I'm not refusing anything. I won't be answering any questions.
okay. But okay, so we are aware that you did purchase FRTs. Again, you wouldn't be in trouble if you just gave those up to us, or
Okay.
if you sold them, you can tell me you sold them.
Sure.
You know,
Okay.
and you're not going to be in trouble for that.
I understand.
So we're just here, honestly, like just to pick them up.
Sure. Sure. It's a bigger conversation than what you're having right now. You know, you decide as you go the rules, right?
Again, that's not something I decide.
It's not. I know your guys are just here.
I
You guys
don't
are just here.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you at
I
all.
understand.
I don't want to be here anymore than you want me to be
Sure.
here.
It's the problem is you are the people who go and knock on the doors, right?
Mhm.
So when they make new laws and you break them, or you go against the citizens because they've spoken what they buy and what they do, the citizens are speaking, but the government is making their decisions on what they think. They're not being servants to the citizens, right?
And
Right.
all we're saying is, you know, like, I mean, we like you said, you know, we just
I,
we are.
I know some of this language that he's using is going to trigger some of you guys as a South Sit, white national type of hits, but he's just talking in colloquialisms. He's absolutely right. This law that was put in did not go through the legislature. It was not voted on. The ATF just decided to start enforcing it.
Sure.
See, I always thought there was a law that.
Sure. And
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I always thought
Go ahead,
there
News.
was a law that anything converted something into an automatic weapon that was illegal.
And it doesn't convert it into an automatic weapon, and I'll tell you why as soon as this video is done playing.
All right. Yeah. No. Well, I got a good discussion on that, but go ahead.
I
Fair.
hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like I said, you're not in trouble. I mean, you
No,
didn't
and I
buy
understand
them,
that.
You know.
No, I didn't do anything wrong. Exactly. That's
So-
yeah. I love good law-abiding cops who are good people, are doing what they do, and I understand you have families to feed. You're just doing what you're told, so you don't get fired from your job. But there is a problem that exists, and at some point you have to make your decision on which side of the team you're on. So I won't be answering any questions. If I'm not being detained, I'm not under arrest, I'll just be leaving now. I won't be able to help you with what you're trying to find.
So, and just to be clear, so then now you know that if you were to be in possession of these FRTs, then you would be basically breaking the law.
The ATF claims that they're making rules, but there's been no vote. There's been no congressional hearing that says you have the law. You don't make law, right?
I don't.
Yeah, the ATF doesn't make law.
Again,
No.
again, but it's.
I don't want. Listen, right now I seem like a huge dick. Like I'm like fuck you guys, but I really don't feel that way at all. I just can't, in good faith, when I make the gear for every high-end special operations unit in America right now. That's all I do. That's all I do is support these freedom fighters. A lot of law enforcement SWAT guys. I can't take part in an overstep past the line that says this is or is not legal. Just because you have a badge, you can still do crimes, right?
Right.
So if the American people feel like the ATF is committing crimes right now, I can't help you. I'm sorry. I just can't.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I appreciate your time.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, so that's the video.
Welcome,
sorry.
all.
Hey, social justice warrior.
Yeah, you can see what I watch because on the side here it like shows all of these court cases and stuff that I've been watching.
I love Sean.
Anyway, so Jim, tell me why you think that this turns it into an. Well, do you want me to explain to you what an FRT is and stuff first?
I think explaining what
Yes,
FRT
I
is.
was going to have questions about exactly how it works. So go
Okay.
ahead and explain it if you can.
Okay, so there's two sort of trigger mechanisms that do a similar thing, but they do it in a different way. There's binary trigger system and there's FRT. FRT stands for forced reset trigger. So binary trigger system, it's something that goes into the trigger housing that makes it so when you pull the trigger, a bullet comes out, and when you release the trigger, a bullet comes out. That's not an auto because it. I'm sorry, I'm doing hand motions and I don't have my camera on. Okay, so you pull the trigger, a bullet comes out. You release the trigger, a bullet comes out. That's not an auto because it's still, you have to do a motion in order for the trigger to come out, or in order for the bullet to come out. So this is something that goes inside the trigger housing. Also, an FRT goes inside of the trigger housing. And what an FRT does, when you pull the trigger, it forces it to reset automatically. But you still have to pull the trigger again for another bullet to come out. So an auto, the reason it's not an auto because the sear, the mechanism that makes it an auto is the sear mechanism. So an auto, they remove the sear mechanism. So when you pull the bullet or when you pull the trigger, all the bullets just come out. So the sear mechanism that holds it's when you let go of the trigger, the sear is what like drops down to hold the, to reset the trigger. For both of the binary system and the FRT, which is the force reset trigger, which is what we're talking about here, the sear mechanism is still in there. So there has to be some sort of motion that the human does in order for another bullet to come out. With an auto, there's no motion for a second bullet to come out. Did I explain
So
that to
since
where
the
it makes
trigger,
sense to anybody that's not me?
Let me just
it makes sense to me. That's what I thought. Go ahead, Jared.
let me because I'm gonna try to think. I'm trying to think of it in the most simplistic way. So basically, what it is it's a mechanism that allows you to shoot faster,
Exactly.
but not automatically. Just like say pulling the trigger a couple more times than you would on a regular trigger.
Yes, exactly. It allows you to shoot faster. It doesn't make it into an automatic weapon. It allows you to shoot faster.
So instead of you having to release your finger and then re-squeeze the trigger, you just apply a constant pressure and the trigger moves your fingers while you are applying that consistent constant pressure.
Yes,
You can
but
do the
if you
same thing putting a
stop
rubber band
pulling,
around it.
exactly.
Just like a
Well,
regular automatic, if you stop pulling, it stops shooting. An automatic weapon is
exactly.
when you squeeze, the one motion of squeezing, bullets keep coming out. You squeeze, and whether your finger is staying still or it's moving, you're still squeezing. You never released. You were squeezing the whole time.
Well, it does release. The sear mechanism does drop down. The sear mechanism is still there.
Have you stopped
It's
squeezing?
not removed.
Have you stopped squeezing?
What do you mean?
You squeeze the trigger. Now something moves your finger forward moves the trigger to move your finger forward. Have you
Yes.
stopped squeezing yet? Or are you still
No.
squeezing?
You
So
can, yeah,
with
you can still squeeze.
with one squeeze, you can empty the entire gun with that one squeeze. Until you stop squeezing, the bullets keep coming out. Sounds like an automatic to me.
It's not the same thing though.
Because it
And
moves your finger.
whether
Because it moves your
here's the
finger.
thing,
You don't move your
whether
finger, it moves your finger.
but the
Mhm.
motion is still there. The trigger still has to go back and forth.
Right,
With an
but
automatic, you pull
you-
it back.
So the
and
so the
the
difference
trigger's
is
not going back and forth.
so the exact same thing happens, but the difference in this is the trigger moves, but everything
Mm-hmm.
else is the same. You squeeze one time, and that one squeeze, all the bullets come out, or
Correct.
until you stop
So
squeezing.
Correct.
so
I don't know
a
how
question
that's not an
for them.
automatic, but
Because an
whatever the
automatic
textbook
weapon,
definition of an automatic. So the
the
textbook
definition of a
definition is
of
your
an
finger doesn't.
automatic.
Guys,
No, the
hang on.
definition.
You guys talking over each other. You guys are talking over each other. Relax. Uh, okay.
Jerry, the
The
moderator.
fully auto. Well, yeah. You guys are doing the brother sister thing. I can see it happening. So the fully auto, right, is a switch on a weapon that has fully auto, and you would just have to press the trigger, right? And so that would keep rapid succession of bullets coming out of that gun. That's fully auto, right?
Correct.
Okay. And so there is an option called semi-auto that would have like a different switch that would only allow 3 bullets at a time or 2 bullets at a time, right?
No, semi-auto is 1 bullet at a time.
Semi-auto is 1 bullet with each squeeze. You release your finger, you squeeze again, 1 bullet comes out. You release your finger, you squeeze
So
again, 1 bullet comes out.
There
As
is
opposed to a manual that when 1 bullet comes out, you have to cock it and get it ready to shoot again. A semi-auto cocks itself, but you have to squeeze the trigger a second time. A fully auto cocks itself and the bullets keep coming out as long as you keep squeezing.
okay, so what is this mechanism exactly? What are the advantages of having this mechanism, and why would you need it?
It moves
Um,
the trigger in between each bullet. All it does is move the trigger so your finger bounces in between each bullet. That's the only difference.
the sear mechanism is still in place, which is it's like a little thing. It's not inside the trigger housing. It's another part of the gun, but that's the thing that when that's removed makes it into an automatic weapon.
Also, a piece inside moves in between each shot, but then moves
Yep.
immediately out of the way.
Exactly.
Okay,
Yep.
so we got one piece inside the gun bouncing around, and that makes it not an automatic. Oh, gotcha. I understand the definitions now.
Okay. Well, I didn't know
So-
if you knew, because I know you're not an avid, like you don't go shooting as much as I do or whatever.
No, I know if you squeeze the trigger and keep squeezing and the gun keeps shooting, that's an automatic. Now, how it
Okay.
actually functions, the whole barrel can bounce back and forth. It's still one squeeze, the bullets keep coming. That's an automatic.
But
Okay,
I don't know if you
so
understand the fact that the trigger has to reset itself in between
That
each.
your finger
It's just
moves and the
doing it
piece moves,
faster.
and then it moves by itself.
I'm gonna try not to. When you speak,
no,
I'm gonna
no.
shut up. When you speak, I'm gonna shut up, and then when you shut up, I'll speak. So go
I'll do
ahead.
the same. I'm sorry. I'm just confused about how the difference between a fully automatic, you squeeze it, your finger stays still, and the bullets keep coming out. But in this thing that's not an automatic, you squeeze it, and the gun automatically moves your finger, automatically drops a piece in, lifts that piece out automatically, and you're still squeezing it, your finger moves again. You
okay,
never
I,
release the squeeze. Go ahead.
okay, I'm gonna bring it back so we can find some common ground here because I think the technicalities of it is gonna push us away because I'm a little bit lost, and I'm pretty sure if I'm a little bit lost, the chat is lost. Um, I'm gonna say this: why would we need to ban automatic guns? Like, is there why is the ban automatic guns so important over say just having any kind of gun out there? Like why is having guns that shoot automatic fire, why do they need to go? Like, does that change any kind of, like, as far as like the power of a weapon, the way a weapon is going to be used and stuff like
No,
that, like
it doesn't.
Well,
Here's
that's
the
the
thing,
difference
Jerry. Let
between
me.
50 rounds in 2 minutes and 50 rounds in 10 seconds.
Okay,
Here's the
well,
thing that I
that's
think a lot of people don't understand. Automatic weapons are not illegal, but you have to get something called a tax stamp in order to own one, where the government collects a boatload of money from you. It's basically you can have I could go get an automatic weapon if I wanted to, but it's like a 6-month process. You have to fill out a bunch of paperworks. Danny was saying you can have federal permits to own them. That is correct.
Hey
I
guys,
have a group of people. Sorry, go ahead, Scotto. What was sorry?
I'm getting ready to head off the panel, but I'll be on the stream.
Okay.
all right, bud. Thank
It was
you.
really
All
good
right,
meeting
folks.
you. I'm gonna sub to your
Something
channel. I like
Okay, thank you.
I like trains a lot. So
Already posted on the private chat.
oh,
So,
awesome. Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah,
now.
I dropped it in the regular chat. I'll do it again. That's your Discord 7073.
yes.
I just subbed.
Okay. Thank you, and
problem.
I'll be in the chat.
All right, go sub to me too.
All right. Ari. Hey, by the way, Ari dead, Katie.
Oh, awesome. Thank you so much.
Oh, no problem.
Thank you,
Later,
Pokey.
Jerry, but I'll be in the chat.
All right, bud.
Okay.
If I don't talk to you the rest of the day, I'll see you in his.
All right.
Anyway, so long story short, I think the way I was just explaining how the things worked because I think a lot of people don't understand that it is a different action that's happening from an automatic weapon to a binary trigger, which is still legal, by the way, and an FRT. The point of this is that the ATF put a rule into place that did not go through the proper channels to create a law that said you, the law-abiding citizen, now are a criminal and gave you 30 days to
Yeah.
whatever. That's the
That's
point
the-
that pisses me off. If
Yeah,
they
and
wanna
that's
make
the
it-
point.
If they want to make it illegal to own either a binary trigger or FRT, that's fine. It's just the way that they did it it's butt.
Oh, no,
It's
no. I'm not
crap.
disagreeing with you at all.
Then what are
I'm
you
sorry,
doing
I did
now?
it again. It's a family thing.
So what's the issue then? I don't know what we're arguing about. If you don't, if you agree with me,
I know, because my whole contention is the way the law came about.
I agree with they went about it wrong, but I disagree on how it functions and what it's classified as because there are laws written down that you cannot make a gun fire fully automatically. And I didn't know there were only certain things you weren't allowed to it, that if you made it fire automatically a different way, that was allowed.
It was until the ATF just went off the freaking rails and is doing whatever the heck they want. Also, I'd just like to point out there's an interview, and I wish I could find it really quick, where the new director of the ATF says in an interview, like a news reporter asks him about something about guns, and he's like, "Well, I'm not a gun expert. I don't know." So he doesn't
Oh
know
yeah, I've seen that one. Yeah.
anything. Here's the thing is these people they're not even gun people. They don't know how things work. They don't know
They're just
anything
lawmakers.
about anything. That's the thing. They're not lawmakers. The ATF is supposed to enforce the laws that went through the legal process to make laws. This stuff that's happening now did not. The same thing with bump stocks. When Trump just signed a freaking piece of paper making bump stocks illegal, now you're a criminal if you own that. That is crap. That is not the way the government is meant to work.
No, not at all.
Yeah, that's the part. That's the part that I was having trouble with because when I heard about all those things, like and it's crazy because I remember the first time I heard of that trigger stuff that you were talking about, and I was gonna because I do have some gun enthusiasts in my family and stuff like that, and they were like fired up about it. But I was telling them like, but like there hasn't been there hasn't been like an election, like I don't like when did this come into play? Was it last year's election? Because I don't remember that being on the ballots.
It wasn't.
And yeah, so then I had to go to C-SPAN and watch a whole like a congressional hearing on them doing it the wrong way because they did put them on trial, but they got off scot free. It was like they were just telling them like oh, I don't answer questions and stuff like that. It's like, how do you not answer questions to the Senate when you made a law over the Senate? Like
Yeah. Well, and here's the other thing. When the ATF gets out of control, like is happening now, then we have situations happen like Ruby Ridge and Waco where people are dying. They set that house on fire with kids inside because the ATF got too big for their britches, and I can see it happening
wow,
again.
yeah, that I don't know. They're out of control. What do we need ATF for? Who didn't we have something else before them that took care of that? Because it's ATF. Yeah,
I don't know.
ATF, FBI. FBI is for. That's like federal police, right?
Yeah.
What's CIA? CIA is international.
Yeah, it's a Central Intelligence Agency, so they're the spies.
Uh, so we got
It's
eight
in the
and eight.
name. FBI, Federal Bureau of Investigation, the federal investigation. CIA, Central Intelligence Agency, are the government spies. ATF, alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. How that got grouped
Oh, that's
together, Lord only knows.
that shit. That's already an outdated name just by alcohol, tobacco. Like yeah, that whole policing system is outdated. They should just toss out the ATF. Like we don't need the ATF anymore.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
funny note
ridiculous.
about the ATF. Katie, I don't know if you've done this. Like, if you go up to say North Georgia and Tennessee, those pardon me, those giant fireworks stores that are by the interstate.
Mm-hmm.
If you've ever seen one of these. Well, I happen to know a friend of mine that ran one in like Hamilton County,
Mm-hmm.
and he told me the licensing is really odd. There's three like check boxes on the form you can apply. You can sell fireworks, you can sell gasoline, or sell liquor, and it's any two of a combination of two, but you can't check all three.
Really?
Yeah. So
They just
he
make
opted
up rules to
apparently for
make up
gasoline
rules.
and fireworks.
Well, and honestly, the fact that they're trying to make these things illegal, that weren't illegal 30 days ago, but it's illegal to own without paying, I think it's like $1,000 to the government, and it's 6-month waiting list to do background checks and stuff. It's not illegal. I could like I said, I could own one if I wanted to shell out the money. They're not making anybody safer by doing this. Is what I'm saying. This is not a mechanism that the people on the streets of Chicago who are killing each other are using. That's not what this is. This is something that gun collectors and firearm enthusiasts who are law-abiding citizens have for fun at the range. You know what I mean? Like
Well,
it's
that's the thing. No, no, you're fine. You're fine. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Finish it. Finish your thought. Finish your thought. I'm sorry.
Like I said, I'm just saying it's silly that they're not addressing the actual issues with gun violence. They're not addressing those issues at all. They're making people
Exactly.
who are law-abiding citizens criminals, but they're not addressing the people killing each other in the streets or doing the mass shootings and stuff like that. One
Right.
bump stock was used in one mass killing, one time in the whole history of forever in the United States, and now they're making law-abiding citizens criminals.
That's okay.
Why?
The Oldsmobile
Yeah.
Public Library. One guy did something wrong in the parking lot 6 months ago. Now nobody's allowed to use the internet when the library's closed.
Exactly. That's
Don't take care
ridiculous.
of the problem. Punish
It's
society.
ridiculous. Yep, it's ridiculous.
And the thing is that like it doesn't it like instead of focusing on trying to create some sort of deterrent for those crimes, all they're doing is making like a quick fix, like a quick blanket fix, so that they're not charged for having to do more inside of building security. And it's like, I don't understand that. Like, you keep attacking weapons and gun owners, but you don't create better security inside, like, say, the schools where people are getting killed, or like, the public places that where people could come in and start shooting. Like, there's no solution in those areas. There's nothing happening there. All it is like, oh, well, we're gonna take away guns, and that should end everything, right? Because
There are
because
too
guns.
That's not going to work in the United States, and there's several reasons for it. First of all, there's more guns than people in the United States. So when the gun grabbers say things like, "Oh, well, in Scotland and in Australia,
Yeah,
there
yeah,
is not the number of guns when that happened." Also, the violent crimes in all of the places that have banned guns has gone up, not down. Just because they're not doing it with guns anymore, it doesn't mean there's not mass stabbings. In Norway,
yeah.
they banned guns, and the biggest mass shooting I think ever happened there, and it was children that got shot.
Well, that's because
On that,
there were no guns there.
exactly. But if there were
Hmm.
security guards that also had guns, do you think that I want to say it was like 87 school-age children were shot by this guy? What was the guy's name? Somebody in the chat tell me. I know somebody knows what I'm talking about. It was on that
Oh, shit.
island. As soon as I hear the name, I'll know it. I just can't think of it off the top of my head. But in England, the police don't even have guns. It's ridiculous. So you have somebody out here who has illegal guns killing people, and the cops can't even take them down. It's so silly.
Yeah, it's to me, it just doesn't make sense. Like, when you talk about a solution that doesn't change anything, it's not a solution. There's no nothing's being resolved. And it's I never understand why every time something like that happens with the shooters. And I'll acknowledge that the shooter situation is starting to become like a bigger and bigger problem now.
Yeah.
Whether it's attention based or people who are actually going through some sort of psychotic episode, the thing is that it's starting to become a more commonplace. I think maybe because of the copycats and people who find it, like a way to create chaos in in the most destructive way possible, right?
Yeah.
But
Real quick, I thought of his name. It's Anders Breivik. Anders Breivik is the guy's name. It just popped in my head. I wanted to say it. Okay, go ahead. Sorry for interrupting. My bad.
no, yeah, you're fine. And yeah, the thing is that, like, there's no real solution to the situation, which is people went into a school, people went into a mall, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, why are we trying to fix security there? Well, for the life of me, I don't understand why we always focus on guns. Guns to criminals ain't going nowhere because they're already criminals. They're gonna go find the guns.
Yeah.
You're not gonna stop them from having guns. So you're gonna stop the
Jerry,
people who are law-abiding citizens who could probably help a situation to not have guns. It's like, it doesn't make sense.
Jerry, they tried that at schools. I think in Chicago, they put metal detectors by all the doors, and the students refuse to come to school. They have to walk through the metal detectors. Why do we have guns in
Too
school?
bad.
Right, that's what I say.
And
They
this-
don't go to
this-
school. Well, the problem is, it's the neighborhoods that happens in, and then That's going to be the problem. We're discriminating against my kid going to school without being searched, so that way my kid's not going to school, so we're being discriminated against. I'm confused about how discrimination comes into you have a metal detector at the door of the school because we got guns there and we don't want them. It's almost seems like they want the guns.
Yeah, exactly. No, and the thing is that that's what I mean is that everybody talks shit until the day that their kid is the one that gets shot. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they want to say I don't want my kid to go through a metal detector, like Fourth Amendment or whatever. You know what I mean? They go throughout their South Sid bullshit or they
Yeah.
think they know the law, so they're gonna say something like that, right? And then
Yeah.
they don't want it to happen, but then the day that their kid gets shot, the day that their kid's in a situation like Uvalde, it's everybody else's
Oh,
fault, but the
how
people
did
who could have
this
made a solution.
happen? How
Yeah.
did this happen? Who let this happen? You, by voting you didn't want the metal detectors there.
I mean, if you want my conspiracy theory about Uvalde, I think that happened because the feds bought that kid guns. In my
Oh
opinion.
wow.
In my
Oh
opinion.
yeah, no, they wanted to set it off so that way they can clear guns out even more.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of those events are set up. You find somebody who's you got a bunch of problems with, and the cops know this kid's a problem, and everybody goes, "Hey, one day this kid's gonna get a gun and go and kill a bunch of people." And then somebody comes out of the blue and gives him a gun and gives him a knife and starts talking shit into his head, and then this happens.
I don't think
You
that
see-
about a lot of I don't think that about every case, but Uvalde is specifically, I think that because the income of that person does not match up with the type of gun that he used for that. I can't afford that gun. That it was like a freaking $4,000 gun or something like that. It's insane to think that somebody did not help him buy that.
You know what? I'm not even. I can't even say for because every time I find out that one of these guys has like some sort of like automatic rifle or like some like AR-15 or something, like I always ask myself, how did they come across this, and wasn't anybody paying attention to the way this guy was acting? Like how I've seen the process of buying a weapon, but I've only seen it with people who are like regular people. I've never seen it with somebody who looks deranged or looks like they're gonna go do something.
Well, you can't not sell somebody a gun because they look a certain way. That'd be crazy. And people would use that as like racist people would definitely use that loophole to not sell to be racist, I should say. I think.
Yeah, you're right. No, you're right. See, I think that what's happening, or at least what's been happening, is that there's a certain bit of race hustling and a certain bit of gaslighting towards that direction in a sleight of hand type of way, because there are things that are happening like that people don't want us to see, and I understand that like it's easy to get into the conspiracy like conspiracy theories realm and stuff like that, but I'm sorry. I got eyes. You know what I mean? I hear. I got ears. I hear and I can listen to what people are saying. And a lot of the stuff that like our president has been involved with extortion, with real extortion and shit like this is like real shit. And nobody's bringing that stuff up because racism. It's
True.
it's scary to me to think that people could be gaslighted so easily. But then again, crowds and our social. I understand that like it's difficult for us as social animals to break away from crowds, but we really got to speak up about this stuff because it's weird. It's just weird that these guys are gaslighting us so obviously. Like it was probably hitting a little bit more, a few years back, but now it's like in the forefront, and you can see it and they can't even hide it anymore. And you got people like Jim, the senator from Texas, who's going nuts over there because he's trying to have hearings on this stuff, but they just blow him off. The poor guy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It is. It is. And the gaslighting is strong. And I really think that, and even if the government is not supplying the weapons to, and setting these, like, even if they're not false flags, they still use when something tragic happens, they use whatever tragedy it is. Like they said, like somebody, I forget who it was. I don't forget who I'm quoting, but some government official once said, never let a good tragedy go to waste. So
Wow.
it's like the minute, okay, this real quick. This shooting happened in Atlanta recently, and it happened right near where I work. So I was really paying attention to it. It happened last week before last, where the guy went into a hospital and shot 7 people. I think 4 of them died, and then he went on the run. Before they even caught the guy, the mayor of Atlanta was on TV talking about stricter gun laws. I'm like, are you kidding me? You haven't even, the bodies are not even cold yet. The bodies are not cold, and you're talking about stricter gun laws on television at a live news conference. It was insane. So I don't think that was set up by the government or whatever, but the fact that they used that, hospital workers were killed that day.
Wow.
And I'm sitting at work. My work's on lockdown. There's helicopters going overhead. There's a manhunt going on, and I'm paying attention because I want to know if I could leave to go home, to the news conferences and stuff. And I have some Yahoo on TV talking about stricter gun laws, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm glad I have my gun with me, because if this guy rolls up here, I want to be able to protect myself. It was myself and my boss, who's another female, in the office alone at the time. And what the heck are we going to do if some madman comes in with a gun? There's nothing else we could do.
Yeah, it's crazy, and yeah, I just can't, like, I me myself, like, so all of this stuff always never made sense to me, like taking away guns and stuff like that, because I saw it firsthand. Like, I saw, people that shouldn't have guns have a ton of guns. You know what I mean? Repeat offenders of domestic violence, of regular violence, assault, armed robbery and stuff like that. They had guns like there was no big deal. They still had guns, and you couldn't keep them away from them, because if they wanted them, they could go get them. And it just never made sense to me to be like, oh, well, let's take away the guns. Like, no, that doesn't change anything. The people who want to have guns are going to have them, and then it's only going to put a disadvantage to the people who are in law enforcement or anybody who's trying to help, because they're not going to have something to fire back. It's the great equalizer, right? That's what the gun is. It's a great equalizer, and if we don't have it, then we're not going to be equal. We're going to be in a anarchistic world, right?
Women who are obviously by nature weaker and smaller than men need to be able to protect themselves. Also, the people who are in those bad neighborhoods, on the west side of Chicago, and I don't know what the neighborhood is in LA, but I'm sure there's neighborhoods that are scary to walk through at night. There's people that live there that have to live there out of necessity, and they deserve to be able to protect themselves from the criminal elements that is alive and well in those areas.
Yeah, and then it doesn't help that, like, we're going through this. First, it was blame everything on the cops, right? Now it's every criminal has an excuse. Every criminal has a good reason why he's committing crime.
Yeah,
they keep moving the goalposts, but it's never.
They're all
the guy's
Aladdin.
committing crime.
They're Aladdin.
Oh yeah, they're all Aladdin. Yeah.
They're stealing bread to feed their families, yet they're actually stealing Kias and to go on joyrides and crash them. They're stealing Hyundais and Kias in Minnesota and Wisconsin for fun.
Yeah, like,
for fun.
what was that city council member from LA that was talking about the catalytic converters, and how Toyota needs to figure out how to put the catalytic converters in different areas because they're easy to steal where they're at. And it's like, how about they don't steal the catalytic converters?
Yeah, how about that? That's a novel idea.
Now, if they can do all these investigations about how the drugs are coming from and tell us what country they came from, why can't they find the catalytic converters and it has a number on it, and they can track it back to the vehicle and come up with some chain of custodies for these catalytic converters coming through? Got a whole bunch from this area and all the numbers are coming over here. There's something going on here. Start investigating. No, they don't want to get involved in it.
Yeah,
because then they're gonna have to arrest Aladdin, and Apu needs his dad,
play this video because
Kia Boys, and I think we're droning on about the same subject a lot. So let's move on to this Kia Boys.
I'm sorry. Did somebody say something?
Huh?
Katie's lips are moving, but I'm not really hearing words.
I
Really?
heard.
You can't hear
I,
me?
I heard like I heard like mumbles of. I didn't really hear your voice. Like it sounded like real muffled.
What's wrong with my mic?
It sounds
Now
good
you sound
now.
clear.
Your mouth.
Wait, can you hear me or not? I'm not muted this
Oh
time.
no, I can
No,
hear
you're
you
good
now.
now.
Oh, I
You
was
mumbled
confused.
before, and he was making fun of you.
Oh, I'm too blonde to understand when people are making fun of me. What is
Again,
happening?
Jerry, that's me. Welcome
That's
to
not
San
me.
Francisco.
What
That's
neighborhood do you
not me.
live in? You need to protect
That's
yourself.
not me. They left about 20 minutes ago.
Hey, do you want to?
Katie will read her text messages later and figure out what I'm talking about.
They, you know this. Have you guys heard of the Kia Boys? This trend.
No.
No.
All right, so there's this trend. It's a TikTok trend where apparently you can steal a Kia or a Hyundai, which is made by the same manufacturer, by just using a.
Oh, I saw this one. It's like a USB
Yeah, so you can
plug
take a
in.
USB and in there and turn it. It won't start. Okay. This is a problem with the manufacturer. But what happened is then there was a TikTok trend to steal these Kias and go on joyrides and crash them and hurt people. Like it's very dangerous. So now there's a class action lawsuit of people who had their cars stolen against Kia. But I have a video queued up if you want. It's 2 minutes long if you want to watch this.
Yeah.
If he doesn't.
Sure.
Now I'm all paranoid about my mic not working. You guys got me all frazzled, man.
No, it's because you were mumbling and
You're fine.
Sorry. All right.
You were talking about what you were typing. You didn't realize it.
Oh, I do that sometimes. Yeah. All right. All right, here we go.
There could be some relief for all of the victims out there. That is our big story at 9. Victims of the Kia Boys are getting paid. Kia and Hyundai will pay close to $200 million to car owners who've had their vehicles stolen.
A lawsuit has been
Why is that anchor so excited?
Problem that really started here in Milwaukee. Our Sam Kramer sat down with the attorney who filed it, who says this will make our community safer as a whole. Sam joins us now in studio.
Well, that money would be split between security upgrades to affected models as well as compensation for losses as a result of theft or damage. Tonight, James Barton says it's a sign that Kia and Hyundai have finally realized what's happening here.
You see people running for their life up there, dude? He'd seen the videos and the damage left behind.
Our city was under siege. It's simple as that. The number of thefts of Kias and Hyundais were skyrocketing.
So attorney James Barton responded the best way he knows how, filing a lawsuit on behalf of victims who've had their Kias and Hyundais stolen, saying, quote, the Milwaukee metropolitan area has been transformed into a game of grand theft auto, wherein the Kia Boys are preying on the owners to steal their cars in droves.
It's because someone figured out, teenagers, how easy the cars were to steal, and it spread like wildfire through various social media outlets.
He filed the case first in Milwaukee County 2 years ago, then in federal court.
So you see the videos they're playing in the background of this news story where they're just like doing donuts and almost running people over.
Wow.
Arguing Kia and Hyundai did not integrate technology that would have made the vehicles safer. It's since been litigated as a class action lawsuit in federal court in California, where on Thursday, Kia and Hyundai announced the preliminary settlement agreement worth up to $200 million.
It's important, and I'm glad that finally Kia and Hyundai solved the public safety crisis.
Both companies issued statements calling this settlement their latest step in a series of actions to prioritize customer safety. As for Milwaukee,
our community is going to be safer as a result of this, and that's really the main, reason we started the case.
Now, if the settlement is approved, the car makers will reach out to those who may be eligible. However, those security upgrades are available now, and Barton encourages you to reach out to a dealership to get that installed. Steph?
All right, Sam, thanks for the update.
Oh, all right. So let me play one more. It's
We had a Katie moment.
It's not a Katie's Edge stream without. Hold on. Let me
It
find
isn't though.
without some sort of.
I will say
Now,
that first
speaking of
news
Katie's that
anchor.
streams over there, notice she changed her name. Katie over there has something going on her stream. You know, has the happy dance. If you donate, he does his happy dance. Katie, if you donate anything, Xena or her doggy Ava will get a milk bone, or
True.
sometimes both. Now, there's
$100
something
not
going on her channel for $100. I don't know how this happened. I made fun because instead of Xena one day, her husband was taking Xena's place. So I made a joke about giving a donation if he eats a milk bone. And somehow all 4 people on her stream, including her, it got up to $100 for her to eat a milk bone. I got one
did it
question,
too.
Katie.
Yeah.
Can we get a pool together that if I put in $10 and Jerry puts in $10 and Scott puts in $10, you keep tracking when you get to 100? Do you want?
Sure.
Well, you
Yeah.
have to get more people.
Yeah, you got to get more people. Yeah, $100.
Yeah.
$100.
Wait a minute, but you know this is.
I have them
No,
right
no,
here.
but this,
I have the milk bones right here.
$100
I got that,
right
but
here,
this is not.
Katie.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute, though. This is not Katie's. This is my channel, so I have to eat the
So
milk
you gotta
bone.
drop. You get to. Oh, Jerry, you got a milk bone. All right. Well, for guys, you only get like 20. What did Dave get? $20?
Dave did it for 25.
You get 25.
Abby did it for 50.
I'm not gonna be on Mike's pay scale. This is Jerry's channel. I'll be on my own pay scale. Gosh darn it!
Both Abby or both PJ.
Well, I'm just trying to help you compete.
Yeah. PJ and Dave
I'll ta-
did it for $25. Abby did it for 50, and I did it for 100. So what is that? We made a lot of money that night.
I'll tell you what. For any donation, I'll put my cat's face on camera. How about that?
Well, how about your face? Your face on camera. Face.
Oh, that's gonna cost you guys $100.
All right.
I'm just
Hey,
not.
Jerry,
I'm
you
not
gotta
proud
buy
of the
me a
way I
phone
look right now.
or
Huh?
something, right? You got any
A what?
link for donations? Because I know you're not monetized.
Yeah, I go. Well, I as you can see, my banner that comes down at the bottom there. It has my PayPal and it has my Cash App.
Oh shit, we got to read because I checked your description and there's nothing in the chat to click on. This reading shit's too much for us.
Yeah, you
On the
gotta
description?
you gotta have a pin a
You gotta
pin a
have you gotta
chat.
have a link, dude. This
Yeah.
typing shit doesn't work.
Pin. Just
Oh
type it
yeah,
out
it does
in the
have
chat.
words
Pin
there.
It. Yeah. All right, real quick. I got a minute-long video showing how dangerous this Kia trend is. If we want to watch that, I mean, we can talk.
No, yeah, it's fine. I'm bringing in about this. It kind of sounds like the stuff that was happening with the little motorbikes. You know, the stuff that was going on in New York.
Yeah, you got to click the button though, dude.
Oh shit! I'm sorry. I'm being a dick, ain't I?
All right.
There you go.
This is taken from a 20-minute documentary, which I highly suggest. But this is kind of crazy here.
Oh, I like that beat.
This is a TikTok trend. Isn't this insane?
TikTok is disgusting.
Hey, is that me lagging or Jerry?
10,000 vehicles, a G lagging. 10,000 vehicles were stolen in Milwaukee in 2021.
Holy cow!
10,000
Holy cow!
Kias and Hyundais.
And all you need is a USB, huh?
Yeah. That's it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, totally insane. So apparently now people are suing the manufacturer, which is great, in my opinion. There's
Well,
like, did they not think that that was going to happen?
they had the
I
same
seem to recall
security as the
reading
first
something.
automobiles. If you know where the switch is, you can flip them.
Yeah. What did you say, Scotto?
I seem to recall reading something maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago that some insurance companies are thinking about stop covering these cars for this very reason.
Yeah, imagine imagine you live in Milwaukee, which is where this happened. I think it was happening in Minnesota too, but like that area. You live in that area, you've never had your car stolen before. But what do you think happens to your insurance when you buy a used Kia and you try to insure it? You think you're going to have cheap insurance even though you've never gotten into an accident, nothing, you've never made a claim or anything? They're going to charge you an arm and a leg because it's so prevalent that your car is going to get stolen and wrecked.
I found a good trick a long time ago when I was looking at new cars way back in my life when I was able to afford new cars. If you find a car that you're interested in, find out how much it is to insure it before you even think about buying it.
You know what's crazy
That'll
right
tell you a
now?
lot about it.
My
That makes sense.
remember that Jeep that I had forever, Jim? That Jeep Cherokee? I had it
Oh, yeah.
I loved that car so much I would have kept it forever. So it died last summer. Could not be fixed. And it was old, you know what I mean? It wasn't but I loved that car. I had to buy a car because it could not drive. So I needed a car like immediately. And it was cheaper to buy a brand new 2022 car than it was to buy a used car in July of last year, which is crazy to me.
Oh, no. Trust me, I believe that. That's why I did what I did to get the Civic. It's a 2013 Civic, but it only has 30,000 on it.
Yeah, the car that I got is not the car that I wanted because none of the cars were even in stock, and I had to have a car that I could walk away with that day or like the next day or whatever because I needed to have a car to get back and forth from work. So now I am a super old lady who drives a frickin' Buick because that's all they had in stock. Buick is an old lady car.
My first.
I thought it was an old man car.
Wait, now this is before Katie was born. We had a 74 Buick Regal was the car I learned how to drive it.
I was around for that car. I remember that car. It was like a boat. It was red or maroon colored with a white top.
It was cinnamon brown.
Yeah, cinnamon brown with a cream colored top. I remember laying in the back dashboard of that car
Oh, that thing
while
was
we were
huge.
driving on road trips. Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
I was
she
gonna
fell
ask
in
you
the
guys.
middle of my back.
I was gonna ask you guys: are the links that I just posted on for my PayPal and the Cash App, are those the links you guys were talking about?
Yeah, pin that tweet. Pin that comment so it stays up there for
So
people.
it says at the top, and everybody can see it to click on it to send you money.
Yeah. Also put it in the description.
Pick which one gives you the bigger percentage. Because, hey, Jerry, let me ask you this. Does PayPal charge you anything?
PayPal's funny. If you have PayPal and if you had PayPal for a long time, it's just like Cash App or anything else. It's easy. It's easy sending. But if you just got a PayPal and you put it as a seller, it costs money and it takes a while. It just depends on the type of account that you have.
I've had PayPal forever, but I don't remember it ever costing me anything. Now, I know if somebody sends me $20, I get the full $20 on the card. If I use it as a credit or a debit card, I get the full $20. If I withdraw it as cash at an ATM, I get the ATM fee for the ATM I'm using, plus PayPal charges me a fee to get the cash. But if you just use it as credit or debit, you get 100% of it.
Yeah, and if you have, that's why you have to get. If you get a PayPal card, if you get like one of those PayPal debit cards, you actually they
Yeah, I
waive
got the
their
PayPal
fee when you
MasterCard.
go to an ATM. Okay, yeah, you shouldn't get the other ATM fee because when you have the debit card from PayPal, when you go use the ATM, you should only get the ATM fee that the private ATM has because there is no PayPal ATM. You'll always get charged something for using that at an ATM. That's why I like to go.
Oh, no doubt.
Usually when I get cash, I go
Well,
to like
now, like 5 or 7 years ago, PayPal used to, and I've never tried to withdraw cash since then. So maybe it changed.
my bank account, since I have a bank that's not an actual bank that doesn't have like an actual like building, I don't have ATM fees, so that's a way to go too.
Well, I just always just go to like a CVS because they'll let me take up to $80 out, and it doesn't cost me anything on with a over there. They don't charge $1 or nothing for getting cash back. Just buy
Publix is
a piece of gum.
Publix has
Now,
ATMs they're called Prestos that don't have a fee either. So if I know there's Publix by you, Jim. So the
oh no,
ATM
no,
that's
no,
outside
I
of
know
every
that,
Publix.
Katie.
Yeah.
The question I was going to have, you're using to buy me a coffee. What percentage
Yes.
does that take? Because YouTube takes like 33% of your super chats or something stupid like that.
Buy me a coffee is much less than that. I don't remember how much it's like a 3% or something like that transaction fee. And you only pay that like the fee is to get your money. It's not every time somebody pays. It's like when
Okay, so it's
like,
the,
so I
it's
only
the
have to pay
withdrawal fee.
3. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, see, I had to buy me a coffee, which is why I still had to buy me a coffee, but I put my PayPal link behind it because I get 100% of that.
Yeah.
I don't know. They got to make that stuff easier. I don't know why it's becoming more complicated. It should be easier. The other
Because
day,
everybody wants a cut of everything.
I get some money into my Cash App, and I forgot that I had some dumb subscription on there, and they charged it. They charged 2 subscriptions on my card, and I'm all like, oh man, I don't want that. So I called them immediately. I told them, hey, those charges should not have been there. I don't even want those services. I haven't used them in a long time. So they said, okay, yeah, we'll give you the refund since you called us up fast enough or whatever. And I'm all like, cool. And then they tell me it's gonna take 5 to 10 days for your money to get back. I'm all like, why? Why? Why does it take 5 to 10 days for it to go back? If you take it out quickly, why does it take 5 to 10 days to go back? I don't understand that process.
I need to set up a new PayPal where it doesn't like my PayPal is connected to my real name, so I need to have one that doesn't have my real name on it, you know.
You can change it because mine was to mine, which is why I actually got doxxed by David Earl Warden, but he couldn't pronounce my name because Katie knows how many different ways do you hear it pronounced?
A lot. It's not my name anymore, so not as much as I used
Oh
to.
no, it's
but
not your name. So but it's your old name, so I don't want to out dox you. But yeah, Warden tried to dox me and couldn't pronounce it right. You can change it because now my James Taylor comes up on my PayPal as the actual name.
Yeah, I need to do that.
Yeah, I think you can go into it and change it. It takes like a week or so for it to go through, but eventually you can go in and look and see how it's listed, and it won't have your full name.
Yeah. Well, hey, Jerry, I got to get going, but is it okay if I plug my stuff first?
Oh no, yeah, it's cool. You already killed the crowd with all this. You're good. Go ahead. No, I'm playing. Go ahead.
I don't know how many people are here. I can't tell. It doesn't show me.
I think everybody got bored of us talking about our PayPal and stuff.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
they all left.
Hey guys, if anybody's still here who's not subscribed to my channel, I would appreciate you doing that at this point. News Now Enemy just put my link in the chat. I also stream on all of the other platforms too. So when I go live, I'm live on YouTube, Rumble, Odyssey, DLive, Twitch, and Twitter. So 6 different places I go live all at the same time. Check it out anywhere. Rumble's a really good platform. They take less money too when people donate on Rumble, by the way, than YouTube does. So Jerry, once you get your computer set up and stuff, I'll show you how to stream to multiple places at the same time. That's the way
Oh, I
to go.
appreciate that.
And I guess that's it. Follow me on Twitter for all the updates. My Twitter is twitter.com/itskatz. So
Hey,
that's it.
news now. You don't got nothing.
No, Katie, you mentioned Facebook in there somewhere, right?
I don't stream to Facebook. I don't think do. I have a Facebook? I might. I'm not sure. I don't use Facebook.
Oh no, because you got YouTube and Twitter. I just didn't know if you were one of those twit faces.
No, I'm not.
And just a small announcement for my panelists and for the people who I want to get involved in this. Look for a Discord. I'm gonna create a Discord for us because I kind of like the situation we got going on here, and I think we can we could having a Discord is gonna be good for us because I do want to get together. I want to collab a little bit more. I think we're subprotocol in a lot of things. So look for a Discord. I'm gonna make a Discord for us.
Okay, I'm putting a thing that it's a solo account that has all of my links connected to it. So if you go to solo.to/KDZ, it has every single one of my links.
Gotcha. Solo.
Solo.to.
Well, there's a link for me if nobody knows about me.
That's another thing I suggest everybody set up as a solo account, just because it's just basically a web page that you can put all of your links on. So it's one linked, or it's one, URL that has everything, and it's free.
So you can drop one link and it goes to everything.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm gonna be making a Twitter soon, and I'm gonna get back on Instagram.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
All right,
Danny,
guys. Well,
you heard
yeah.
that
Well,
YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook are merging, right? No, Dan. I was asking Danny if she heard that YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook were going to merge. They're going to call it YouTwitface.
All right. On that dad joke, I'm out of here. Have a good day, guys.
thanks,
Bye.
Katie, for coming up.
Have a
You're the
good day,
best.
Katie.
All right. Later.
And then there was 3. All right, guys. We should get out of here. Start getting ready for Hez. Start seeing some happy dances, right? You guys are ready to see some happy dances?
Oh yeah, I ain't got to work till 7 o'clock tonight. I actually got to watch. I get to watch the show. Usually, I'm starting
Ooh,
on
all right.
Saturdays about 5:30.
Cool. Well, all right. All right, man. Well, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for everybody who stopped by. I guess I'll just see you guys at Hez's.
Hey, thanks
All
for
right,
having me and let me use you as a test dummy there. Catch y'all
Stop it.
later.
All right, have a good one.
Bye, Scott. I'll see you at Hez's.
All righty, you got it. I'll talk to you later. Bye bye.